SaraBelle, say that again.
I have chocolate candy. I have a drink of the day. And I have donuts.
Oh my god.
And now I see the live button going.
That's correct. You were saying that just as we were going live, so I'm like, all right, well, the audience has got to hear what that was all about, because that was tremendous.
Tremendous.
What a way to start a show. Hi, everybody. I'm Sebastian.
I'm SaraBelle.
I don't see it switching to you, SaraBelle. Do you see it switching to you, or can you not tell that?
I can never tell when it switches to me.
Okay.
When I talk, I see three, like down here, little green buttons that go do-do-do.
Do-do-do. I don't see any green... Oh, yeah, the green buttons go when your voice is going, correct?
Right, exactly. They go when I go.
Right.
So I don't know.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. It sort of automatically started switching cameras between us last week, and so I don't know if maybe it's going to be able to do that this time or not. I have no idea. But it's been kind of a wild week, and we're both telling each other right before the show that we are of what, from 0 to 100% prepared. What percent prepared are we?
Negative 20.
Negative 20 is right. We're completely unprepared for this. I feel like shit, and I kind of look like shit, and I think you were trying to get me to say, let's not do it, but then we both thought of shit we wanted to sort of do. So
yeah, we both have stuff we want to do, and I have donuts that are not going to last until next week.
Right, yes. And these are not just any donuts. These are donuts from where?
Voodoo Donuts.
The great Voodoo Donuts. Tell me about it. Tell me what, you got it, what, Thursday or Friday?
Friday. Just
yesterday.
Friday.
Okay. So they were, yeah, from yesterday.
And I got a dozen, but I picked some of my dozen, so it was actually, drumroll, $21 for a dozen donuts.
Okay, but these are not just any donuts. You cannot get these at, you know, Krispy Kreme.
Right, exactly. And this box, seriously, is like 10 pounds. It is super heavy, and I will try to show you the box.
Okay, let's see this here. Oh, wait. Okay, there we go. I see. Go ahead and talk. I'm sorry.
So, it's Voodoo, and their slogan is basically, good things come in pink boxes, with their lovely double entendre.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's a beautiful thing. And open the box, for Christ's sake. What are you doing?
Well, the problem is that they were in my car yesterday, Friday, and it was like 70 degrees in Portland. So everything kind of melted to the paper, so you can't really... And if I tip it, it's wrong.
But I mean, these are the kind of donuts that keep a day or two for sure. So these are not going to be stale by any means. These are delicious gourmet donuts, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, unfortunately, the toppings are already going stale because this one is a Fruit Loop topped yeast donut, and the Fruit Loops, they get stale. The cereal, kind of get stale.
Of course. I mean, yeah, exposed to open air. I guess that makes perfect sense.
Captain Crunch. There's the Captain Crunch donut that has got another yeast donut.
Can I just tell you right now, I actually, honest to God, am just about to have like my last, it's not even going to be a full bowl, like a half bowl of the Captain Crunch berries.
Right.
I have a box of them, just the Crunch berries. That's the only kind I like, because those damn yellow things are sharp and painful. And when you get old, you start having, you know, the potential, like I get little sores in my mouth sometimes if I really poke the skin. These things are really sharp. And the ones that only have the Crunch berries are like, oh, that's my favorite kind of cereal. And they don't always have it. That's the thing. So it was in the stores like last week. I'm like,
Now, did you get the Oops All Berries? Or
yeah,
was it
that's what I'm talking about.
All right, yeah.
All berries. That's not always there, is it? It's like,
no, it's not. I have a M&M donut.
Okay, so let me see that.
That is a cake donut with mini M&Ms. And then I forget the name of this one. I want to say it is 420 related, but
okay.
It is another yeast donut with chocolate frosting and Oreos and then peanut butter on top. And I want to say it's like a dirt bag. I think they call it the dirt bag or something similar to that. And then the other ones have, unfortunately, gotten melted to the paper.
Okay.
because they have little voodoo donut men that are shaped like people, and they have raspberry jelly in the middle. But because they put mine on the bottom, he's melted and he's lost all of his frosting.
Oh, he's a little raspberry jelly man?
Yeah, he's a little jelly voodoo man that they put a pretzel rod in the middle of because it's a voodoo.
No, I bet they put that pretzel rod right up there. So, and please indulge. Go right ahead. Get yourself your favorite one, and let's start eating.
Well, the problem is I'm also...
Or not, they're sharing, right?
And I'm not sure if you have seen this. It's part of the Cadbury family. But it is the Cadbury chocolate cream.
I have seen that, actually,
Yeah.
and I don't remember if I've had them before. I'm actually having a Cadbury cream egg right this very minute, live. I was eating sort of as you were talking, and believe me, I did not want to interrupt the great donut presentation, because you could sell donuts for that place.
Normally... because I picked and choose my donuts, like I said, it was a $20 dozen of donuts. But if you just let them choose the fancy donuts, I think it's only like $12, which is normal.
You went kind of premium then.
Right, because when you choose the donuts you want, they charge you the per donut price. So the Voodoo Men, I think, are a little bit more expensive than the other ones and whatnot. I had asked for Portland Cream, which is my favorite, which is just a Boston cream donut that, has Portland in the name.
Sorry, I'm wiping my face because I'm getting chocolate all over myself. That's how good this Cadbury cream egg is. But please go on.
Well, so here's the Cadbury chocolate egg.
Mm-hmm.
And I have had it already before because my box was dented. But it's just got chocolate in the middle.
I
so
see.
It's got a really nice ganache.
Well, because mine, if you don't know about the regular Cadbury cream egg, the center is sort of white and yellow sugar cream, right? It's
like an egg. Yeah, it's supposed to look like an egg.
And it's meant to look like an egg. That's what it's meant to have a yolk that maybe broke inside the egg or something, because it's just white and yellow in there kind of randomly. When it's that kind of gooey consistency, I don't think they can really make a actual yolk, without having it be kind of gross. I think it's better to just have it be this color sugar cream. But I noticed that there's no sort of different colors in there. It's just chocolate cream.
It's just straight chocolate. It's a really heavy ganache. And it's really good, though. It's that really thick, I can't chew kind of chocolate.
Say ganache again.
Ganache?
I don't know why it was funny. Like, that's sort of that's a bit of a non-regular word for me. It's the kind of thing I only see when I watch Chef Gordon Ramsay on those damn reality cooking game shows. It's kind of the only reality show that I will watch is the ones with Gordon Ramsay, because I like hearing him swear at idiots, because it feels like it's deserved,
Mm-hmm.
And we're kind of talking Easter candy. It's coming up on Easter season. Are we in Lent yet? I'm not a religious guy, so I don't know.
We are, I think, in Lent, because Ash Wednesday directly follows Mardi Gras, and everything that was Mardi Gras food in the store is now on sale. So I know Mardi Gras is now over, and usually I can only tell.
Now, I'm not a drinker, so Mardi Gras is completely off my map. It's kind of a thing for drinking, and I like jazz, but it's not one of my top 3 genres. You know what I'm saying? I have stuff I listen to more than that, so I really don't care much to think about. I care as much about Mardi Gras as I care about the Burning Man, and I care 0, or actually I care -20 about the Burning Man. I think that is a place for dopes. I'm all about sex, drugs, and rock and roll, but I just don't like getting dirty.
Right. It looks disgusting out there. I'm sorry. It just, the photos I've seen of the porta potties and the dust and the mud, and I'm just like, no, thank you, I'm good.
Yeah.
Give me Disneyland any day of the week. No.
I got to agree there as well. And now, I think, I don't know how much you spend to go to Burning Man. Here's the thing.
I have no idea.
I think the ability to even buy tickets was messed up by hackers. I believe hackers sort of bought all of the tickets for scalping, essentially.
I don't know. I know my former boss who works with electronics is really into Burning Man because people build like light parade kind of stuff,
Yeah,
and the electronics that
the Unabomber? It sounds like you're talking about your friend Ted Kaczynski, the Unabomber. So is that who?
No, he owns. I actually worked for him for a while. He owns an electronic company.
You work for the Unabomber? Oh my god!
Exactly. But they have a lot of like interesting, like people will decorate their bicycles in LEDs and have almost.
You know, I totally love that.
Almost like Disney Light Parade quality kind of floats and stuff that they do at the Burning Man, but I've just never gotten into it. That's not my culture. That's not my scene. And I like flushing toilets. Sorry.
Oh, yeah, exactly. I mean, you know, any place where you can avoid the porta potty at all. Now, I actually am pretty okay with the porta potty thing, strangely. When I gotta go, it is time to go, and if there's a porta potty there, it is better than nothing. So I can do it. I've done it many times. I would do it now if I needed to, kind of a thing, right?
Right.
But it's most certainly not ideal. And when you get that many muddy-ass people there, I'm sorry. That is just, I mean, honestly, I don't see the appeal. That's not even, I mean, I'm not even a Coachella guy, but I mean, I understand that. A music festival where, you know, people party and have a good time for 3 days, a trip on acid and listen to guitar music. That's great. I support that. But why this Burning Man thing about, you know, mud pits and complete, I just, why?
I don't get it. It's not my scene, so I have no idea. You were talking to someone who knows nothing about.
Right. Circling back to my point before, which is I have as much to do with Burning Man as I do with Mardi Gras. So I know when you said Mardi Gras food a minute ago, now 5 minutes ago, because I talked for that long, like, what is Mardi Gras food? Can you tell me?
I think Mardi Gras food is just that emphasis on Creole.
Got it.
Because when you go into the Safeway, there was a little stand of like Zatarans, beans and rice, and a couple of things from the
Zatarans. I actually know that brand.
Right.
Now that's not an example of a food that's available only this time of year, right? That's all.
No, it's around all the time. But they had made the display of Zatarans, beans and rice, and you know.
Got it.
Because that's like kind of traditional for that area, and I think the bakery had a couple of beignets or king's cakes that were, you know, marked down to almost nothing. So I kind of knew that was over, and I knew after Mardi Gras happens Ash Wednesday, and I know that I saw a couple of people on my Facebook feed that were talking about Ash Wednesday.
Totally.
So now I know we're in Lent.
Well, yeah, exactly. And what I was going to say, and I remember now Ash Wednesday too. I used to be Catholic when I was a kid. I grew up Catholic, but I don't remember any of that. Like, I'm just like.
No, I don't either. I don't remember it at all.
All the space that was taking up in my brain has been replaced by other shit long ago, right? So, but now that you say that, I'm like, yes, okay. Lent is the 40 days before Easter, and the thing right before it is Mardi Gras, when you get really drunk or whatever, and then,
I don't know. Yeah.
Then stop for 40 days, and you're good for 40 days, and then Easter. So, like, Easter candy is one of my favorite things. One of the things I don't remember seeing in the stores before, maybe I was blinded by, you know, all the Peeps and all of the Cadbury eggs and all of the new, you know, all the sort of this time of year chocolate shit that, I mean, even Christmas doesn't really have that. Not really. Not even Halloween has that exactly. Like, Easter is the holiday for...
It is the candy holiday.
Specialty season candy that goes away after a certain point of the year. If I could get Cadbury eggs all year, so help me God, I would be eating them all of the time.
Well, here's the thing. I showed you that box that I bought for you of the Cadbury mini eggs. There is a liquidator in Portland, and I did this for my friend Kate. I got her the Cadbury eggs that you just ate. 48 of them in a box for $6.
God damn, that is tremendous. I mean, where?
At this liquidator. It's called Everyday Deals, and basically anytime a store has to get rid of food, they buy it and sell it. You know, they've got right now cream of chicken soup, 65 cents a can. And they're just like flying out the door because normally it's like, what, $1 in the store. But they have a whole Easter section, and there were still like 30 or 40 boxes of the 48 count of the Cadbury eggs.
I think the most I've ever bought was like 12, like 3 of those 4-packs kind of a thing.
Right.
The most I ever had in my possession at any one time, and of course it did not stay 12. I eat them pretty fast. There were times when I couldn't always finish the chocolate shell. Like sometimes I would just sort of break them open and suck out the sugar. Like I'm that much of a sugar crackhead, you know. So and this was many years ago, of course, when I was much more of a sugar crackhead. But with the funny thing is, I saw the story you sent to me. And I thought I saw it like the night before you sent it to me. You sent it to me Friday morning, and I saw it late Thursday night, right before I went to bed, kind of a thing. And it's like, oh, I was sad that you saw it too, because I was going to surprise you with it. Well, but you have it up to tell. Or let me pull it up here and tell.
Yeah, I have it up here, and it's what I sent to you. And I was mildly disturbed because I actually saw it on the news.
Oh, okay, that's on the news. I love that this sort of thing.
It was on the news, and it was one of those ones where I had to immediately Google it because I was like, no, that's not right. The company that makes Cadbury eggs, or no, not Cadbury eggs, Jesus, Peeps. The company that's making Peeps is now making Peep flavored milk.
I am switching to a site called ABC News. If you're in the United States, you know what that is. Maybe if you're elsewhere, you know too. This is a pretty major news site. This is a serious news organization. This is a story from Good Morning America. Peeps flavored milk coming to a grocery store near you. Now, talk a little bit about what is your reaction to this? Let's read a little bit about it.
I could not believe it. I honestly was... I saw it on the news, and I had to pause. I was just like, no, because while I enjoy chocolate milk, I will be the first to say I love drinking chocolate milk. If you bought a gallon, I would eat my cereal with it. I can't bring myself to buy the Peeps milk.
Okay. And is that just because it's a step too far in the sweet direction? I
think it's going to be a step too far. And also, when I think of Peeps, I have that grainy mouthfeel. From
the sugar on the outside.
From the sugar on the outside, yeah.
Yeah, I don't mind that feel.
I don't know. I just think that the chocolate would be okay, but the marshmallow and the eggnog are just going to be too much for me.
Okay, so let's look at this here. This is the picture of the headline, and this is not brought to us by Tyson, so I'm going to try and cover up the ad as much as possible. But Peeps milk, chocolate marshmallow, reduced fat. That's the first thing that strikes me, by the way, is that it's reduced fat. So it's practically health food. Chocolate marshmallow, reduced fat milk, marshmallow flavored reduced fat milk, and Easter eggnog. All right, well, so if Easter eggnog is just eggnog, is that a problem for you? Do you dislike eggnog?
I like eggnog. Eggnog has its time and place, though, and I don't think Easter is when you need to have eggnog. I will have eggnog Thanksgiving night.
I suppose some people... see, we always did it toward Christmas time, but I guess it is around during Thanksgiving, of course, these days. Mm-hmm. I was thinking about... I would be really mad if you were saying that about the Cadbury cream eggs, and it's actually true that it's only around at one time of year, and then it goes away. So I would be okay with eggnog in the springtime. That does not bother me. Somehow, the regular marshmallow is the only one I think I would like. Now, what I was going to say is this. I remember having this experience, and it's not about regular milk. Have you ever had soy milk? Is that what they call it?
I have had soy milk because I've worked at a coffee shop.
Right.
I've never purposely bought soy milk for myself.
Okay.
But if I was making a coffee for someone and there was extra, and no one was going to order anything soy within the next few minutes, I would drink it.
Okay. Yeah. Now, did it bother you? Like, did it taste bad to your mouth, kind of a thing?
It didn't taste bad to my mouth. It kind of tasted more like not Slim Fast, skim. It tasted like a really watery skim milk.
I always thought it tasted somehow like it was derived from nuts or twigs. Like I saw them squeezing nuts and twigs somehow when I tried regular soy. Now, the company that does that Silk brand of soy milk or soy juice, I think some people say you can't call it milk if it doesn't come from, like, a nipple. And there's probably a very, only mammals make milk, so you can't make milk. So you should call it soy juice or something like that. Like, I think there was even a campaign to get that, done. Did I just totally kill you with that? What did I say?
It was the nipple. The nipple got me.
Nipple, nipple, nipple. Okay. But you know what I'm saying, right? Milk cannot be a white liquid. Some people say milk has to come from a nipple, so when it's soy, it's not milk.
Okay, continue.
Okay. But anyway, So the Silk company, it's called Silk, it's this brand, and they make regular soy milk, but they also make like a vanilla and a chocolate.
Right.
And I remember when I discovered that vanilla shit, I didn't buy regular milk for a while because that vanilla shit, somehow they probably added a ton of sugar, you know, whatever the hell. I don't really mind that, obviously. Just one moment as I sip my Mountain Dew. But as I was going to say, like that soy vanilla stuff was very delicious. The chocolate I never really liked. I like chocolate regular milk, okay. Soy chocolate milk kind of, I guess, felt like a step over the line in that imaginary place you were just saying, right? It's just in the line, and somehow there's a line, and that's where it is. You don't know why, but that's where the thing is. That's where I wouldn't try it. And chocolate soy milk was like, no. Then, once only. I've had this experience several times where, like, there is a product in the grocery store that was there for one trip to the grocery store in my life. It was a special product that was new and exciting and cool, and then I went back like the next week, and it was gone, and not only was it gone, I swear to God, this is a conspiracy. Not only was it gone, but the people in the store, when I would go up to a person and say, excuse me, where are the toasted coconut-covered marshmallows? Or, excuse me, where is the, you know, special brand of Mountain Dew? Or, excuse me, where is this one thing? And they act like, they literally, one time they said there was never any such thing here, and you're out of your, like, they told me I was fucking crazy. And I put the toasted coconut marshmallows in my mouth, SaraBelle. Like, this is not, like, even...
Was there a store saying that they did not exist?
They said they did not exist. They said, I don't think there was, we carried that. We didn't carry that. And I'm like, but this is the only store that I go to, and I literally got it here last week, 7 days ago. Today it's
my liquidator.
7 days ago.
My liquidator has those things.
What's that?
My liquidator that I go to for the food has those things. I got bags upon bags of toasted coconut marshmallows.
Okay, well, see, that's the thing. I remember, and I can tell you, let me think about the year for a second, because I remember where I lived, where this happened to me, because I was in East Phoenix, not West Phoenix, sort of the western part of Phoenix, at least in the mid-90s, was the super kind of dangerous ghetto where all the murders happened in Phoenix. Like, every frequently that would happen in Phoenix, and that's kind of what Phoenix in general got a reputation for. But very few of that, very little, like, of that violence ever happened on the east side of Phoenix. It was just kind of a quiet border area right next to where I was going to college at Arizona State. And the year would have been 1997, okay? So we're talking 18 years ago. This was not a time when there was a lot of variety in the marshmallow aisle. Do you know what I'm saying?
Right, yeah.
Small marshmallows, white. Big marshmallows, white. And rainbow marshmallows, small, right? Big rainbow marshmallows. That was where the line was, like they said. They had three things. The soft little ones, the soft big ones, and the soft little rainbow ones. Now, if you go to the marshmallow section, there's mint ones at like Halloween time.
Strawberry and chocolate and coconut. And so I saw the toasted coconut since I've been in Portland.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and now it's a thing. In the past 5 years, probably, it has sort of, there's been enormous diversity, and I support marshmallow diversity, SaraBelle. I do not support marshmallow discrimination in any way, shape, or form. But, so help me God, it drives me nuts when the person tells me I did not buy it here, because so help me God, you know? Like, it's literally a case where I only have this store that I ever go to at this, you know, from where I live right now. I have my store. I usually don't go anywhere else. And I forgot now why I started on that fucking tirade. What was it that I was talking about?
You were talking about going to a store one time, and they have something.
Well, I guess it was just the toasted coconut marshmallows, though I feel like it happened again recently, and now I can't put my finger on what it was. Because nowadays, there is a lot of test market shit. And, you know, I mean, even that, at that time, was sort of, like I said, really unusual. So, but it just kills me. Now you've got, like, home caramel-flavored cocoa. Like, it's not chocolate cocoa. It's caramel now. Sort of like that sippin' caramel shit we had in...
That was delicious, by the way.
Tell me the name of that place. Is it sweet, something sweet, or is it the Just Desserts?
It's one of the two. It's either something sweet or Just Desserts, and I can't remember which one it is. I want to say that it is something sweet, because the place that's the new lesbian fish tank was Just Desserts, wasn't it?
Right. You have it backwards, though. I was just going to say, I hope he says the same thing as me, because otherwise I'm going to be really unsure. I think it's Just Desserts. Let me just do a quick search really fast.
While you were doing your quick search, I have a drink of the day. You've already mentioned your Mountain Dew.
Right?
So it's again the fizzy water from Walmart that I really enjoy. But this is a limited edition Cactus Lime. You see that cactus?
Cactus lime? Okay. Tell me what that tastes like.
It tastes like lime.
So like
I don't really have any additional cactus flavor, but it smells more fruity than just lime by itself. But hey, it's pretty good.
By the way, I'm still outraged that Mountain Dew does not at all resemble what real dew on mountains tastes like, because I went and tried that one time.
It tastes like grass, you know.
Yes. It tastes like antelope piss or something, because I think that's where the antelope peed is where I ended up trying to whatever. This is taking a left turn somewhere, and let's get back on track.
We're going back to something sweet.
Well, yes, I think it's just desserts. Let me switch to it here because I found the entry for it, and it is now gone. Hold on, I'm going to switch to the Peeps story and bring it up again because this is where it is. Let me see. Sorry, this is taking a moment here, but I'm going to pull up just desserts, because I can see it on that little computer screen. This is the one on South Craycroft, right?
Okay, yeah, so it's just desserts. It's something sweet that used to be on Speedway that closed.
Oh, look, there's actually JustDesserts.com is one in San Francisco. TucsonJustDesserts.com is the one here. And look what it's called itself. Can you see this? The Smart Table Cafe.
Ah! I really did enjoy those smart tables. Those are really kind of cool.
Those were badass. They certainly were. And there's what it looks like, by the way, and this is its website. And if you happen to be in southern Arizona, make this a point to go to. I don't know if you made it before you left town to that place called Oink that is strictly pig.
No, it just opened right before I left, and we never had the chance to go to Oink.
Now, this is super, insider Tucson. If you're anywhere else in the world, you totally don't give a shit about this, but maybe there's a place close to you. For instance, in San Francisco, so help me God, I'm now going to the website of this place, because this is a place that is so unique. It is just, it is almost obscene how good the stuff is from here. It is called Bacon SF. It is a food truck that is... you get one guess as to what the offerings are from the Bacon truck.
Waffles.
Exactly wrong, obviously. It is not anything but bacon. Now, let me see here. Here's the truck. Obviously, there are trucks. They drive around. They're in San Francisco. They're across the bay in Oakland there. They're sort of in the North Bay and San Rafael sometimes. I tried to get them to come down where I used to live, which was the Silicon Valley area. I think the furthest they've come, according to this map, it looks like Daly City, whatever. It doesn't look like they ever made it to San Jose, and that's a shame because I think people there like bacon too. What I wanted was the food. Look at this food. Here's 2 patties, bacon, sautéed onions, cheddar. Just a plain old bacon cheeseburger, but it's very special, thick bacon with really salty deliciousness. If you're ever in San Francisco, get one of these things. The bacon fried chicken, the grilled cheese, which includes bacon and what they call bacon jam, which is kind of like melted cheese with bacon bits in it. They have something called the LGBT, which is little gem lettuce, goat cheese, bacon, and tomato.
Now, did they intentionally do that because they're in San Francisco and they wanted to be part of the lesbian, gay, bisexual, transsexual crowd?
I think that's it. Any place in San Francisco is going to sort of, especially if they're in the city, which this place is, in the actual city of San Francisco as opposed to Oakland or San Jose. When you're in San Francisco, you show, full-throated, badass support for the gay community.
Right.
And sort of the related communities that are all kind of make the Castro and San Francisco in general their home. That belly is something that I had once. Pork belly, organic fried egg, arugula, and aioli. And let me tell you, it will blow your brains out, that one. It is so good. My favorite thing wasn't even the fries or the porky fries. It was this one.
The bouquet?
Bouquet. Look what it contains.
Bacon, and bacon.
Exactly. Bacon, it's 5 strips. I think it used to be 6. Maybe they've made that smaller. Now we're at the stuff I don't like, so I'm going to skip over the bacon with chocolate. But that bacon bouquet was just a thing of beauty. And so, when we're talking, when I wanted to make this originally all about only fast food and junk food, we're sort of going afield tonight because I said we didn't really plan anything. So, if you're looking for kind of universal food, talk, we'll try and get back to that. But right now, the specialty places like the one in San Francisco and the one in Tucson that we're talking about are not all that strange. Like maybe in a city near you, there might be something like this that would be worth trying out. And we will want to hear from you in case you ever do.
Well, do you have the link that I sent you earlier? It is now a brick and mortar shop in Portland that actually started in Boise, but it's the Boise Fries.
Boise Fries. Was this a news article you sent me, or just the actual website?
It's a restaurant actually chain that we have, or not chain, but their slogan is burgers on the side, because their main thing is potatoes.
There you go. All they do is the potatoes, and all they do is fries. Like, why fries?
Right, exactly.
Restaurants have persecuted fries, treated them like second-class citizens, stuffed them with chemicals and preservatives, and forced them to share fryers with hot wings and corn dogs. And why? Have these not beautiful, slender... This is well written. Have not these beautifully slender pieces of fried vegetable graciously accompanied entrees, blah, blah, blah? Have fries not comforted us, satiated us, delighted us? Are fries not worthy? Fries should be cooked with... It kind of goes off the screen. So it's not the website. Maybe it scrolls down or something. I don't know. I can't.
Yeah, I had the same problem with mine also. I think there's a problem in their.
You know what? If the fries are as good as they look, I'm willing to forgive the problem on the website.
Right, and it's great because they actually, when you go there, you have the choice between not just fries, but you have the type of fries. You have russet, purple, gold, sweet, yam, and one I can't pronounce. And then you have the different ways that they're cut. So you have shoestrings, regular, home-style, curly, or potato balls.
Okay.
And when you go to Portland, the link for Portland, because that's where I'm at, they also tell you where your potatoes came from.
I see. Sherwood, Oregon, Nysa, Oregon. Okay. Then they have the specific ranches even here. The whole wheat potato bun. What's the one you can't pronounce? Is it on this list? The beer. What is the beer? I guess many people like beer, so I like to talk about that. But
no, I think the one I couldn't pronounce was off of when you are just at View Menu. If you go back up to the top, click on View Menu on the right.
I don't see it here.
On the arrow above the potatoes.
Oh, got it. Right. Okay.
There you go.
That's a little hard. Okay, and it's
the Aquan, or at the top line, potatoes. Russet, purple, gold, sweet.
Purple, gold, sweet, Okinawa, and yam. Okinawa is like a Japanese thing, must be, because Okinawa, I believe, is a city in Japan.
Ah.
Or prefecture or district or something. So what are the... Okay, make them shoestring, regular, home style, curly, or try our famous po' balls. What the fuck are po' balls?
I think po' balls are probably going to be like a mashed up sort of something that are formed into balls.
I don't necessarily hate the sound of that, but it's a little weird. Okay, go on.
Yeah. But this was on our local news when they were talking about how a lot of our streetcars, because Portland is huge for streetcars, are moving to brick and mortar because there are a lot of retail spaces available, because a lot of places are closing down. And there was in Beaverton, which is a suburb of Portland, a larger store had closed down, and the owner chopped it into 5 smaller, like barely the width of a car places, and so they've got 5 new food carts in this area where one like shoe store used to be.
Right. That's there in Beaverton, where you said, like, Beaverton?
Right, yeah, and it's happening all over in the suburbs of Portland, because Portland real estate is kind of spendy, but when we get into the burbs, it's a little bit more affordable. And so specialty places like the potatoes are just flocking in. So
yeah. Interesting. I mean, that can only be good, right? I mean, here's the thing. It will mean more of everything. So in Portland, it will mean more vegan places, which, I mean, the vegan philosophy offends me, but I've been to vegan restaurants, which were actually pretty good. So I don't necessarily hate everything vegan, but it sort of bothers me when people are vegan.
I hate the vegan strip club.
What is a vegan strip club? Good God.
We have a vegan strip club. The only reason why I like the strip club is because to sit at the rack, it's $2. And so when you go in, you pay your door fee, and then you get a whole bunch of 2s. And I love $2 bills. They're I don't know, I'm a nerd.
Okay, wait. Wait. Just wait. You can't gloss over that like you're like this regular person so much so that you understand this about strip clubs. I've been to a strip club like twice in my life. What? Are you serious about this? Or are you making this up? Is this kidding?
What?
The whole thing about the strip club. Like do you know about a strip club that gives you $2 bills? Like
I don't know what it is, and I can't remember the name of the vegan strip club, but I know where it's located because I've been there a few times. But to sit at the rack, and what the rack is that kind of front row where the girls dance, and you sit right there, and to sit front row, you have to pay $2. And because they have a $2 minimum, they give you $2 bills at the door. Okay. And I love the $2 bills. I've gone there multiple times just to get $2 bills.
Are you aware that your bank has
No, they don't have them all the time.
All the time. You need $2 bills all the time.
I need like $100 worth of $2 bills. You don't understand.
I have exactly $2 worth of $2 bills. I have exactly one that I've like always had since I was a kid. I think my grandfather.
Right. Yeah, I have the one that I've had, like my first $2 bill that I ever got. I have that, and I had the $2 bill that was in my mom's wallet. But I like spending the $2 bills because I like seeing how many people don't believe that it's real money.
Don't lie, SaraBelle. You just like going for the food at the strip club, right?
Oh yeah, the vegan. Yeah, so the strip club is vegan.
What?
So not only is there no
chicken wings?
No chicken wings, no clamato, because clamato is clam juice in it.
Good Lord God.
So
really?
people, they have their special vegan.
I don't even like clamato. I hate clamato, but the fact that they don't have it because of that reason fucking like that just drives me insane.
Because you use clamato in Bloody Marys, apparently. I don't drink Bloody Marys, I don't know, but I've been told.
Even if I did, I would find something other than fucking clam juice to put in there because that's nasty. But like seriously, the fact that they ban it just because it's vegan, all right, I'm over it. Now.
And so because it's vegan, none of the bouncers can wear leather, and none of the girls can wear leather. So it's so funny because I was
bullshit. God, okay, now I hate this place even more. Fuck the $2 bill.
Talking to one of the bouncers because I had a hoodie that was from Gabriel Iglesias and it says Fluffy across the top.
Okay.
And the bouncer was talking to me. He's like, "Where'd you get that? I love Gabriel." And we started talking about random shit. And he's like, "God, I hate working here because I can't wear my Harley boots." I'm like, "What?" He's like, "Well, it's all vegan, so I can't wear my leather biker boots." I'm like, "You're freaking kidding me." So he's got his motorcycle in the parking lot with his biker boots and his saddle bag because he has to change shoes before he goes into work.
You know what? That is such bullshit because like that is actually a safety thing, less of a fashion thing. You know what I'm saying? Like it's actually like there's reasons if you're a motorcycle rider you need that shit. So like I feel that could almost be a discrimination lawsuit in a place like Portland. You know what I'm saying?
Right, but he's not riding his bike at work. He's riding his bike to work, so he changes his shoes in the parking lot.
Well, I get it. Yeah, I get it. But I'm saying that's bullshit that he has to. That really drives me nuts too. I mean, and I'm all about freedom. And I guess if you want to have a job at a place like that, you're willing to accept whatever you have to accept. And I've kind of read about that particular topic a lot lately. Not that it's really related, but So are the girls hot there? Like, I know nothing about this.
I really didn't look at the girls because I was kind of like, this is the 4th strip club we went to tonight. I'm ready to go home. I was a designated driver.
Now that makes it come into focus a little bit. That's very cool of you to do that. But holy shit, like, you got to really love those guys to be willing to like drive their drunk asses around going to 4 fucking strip clubs in a night.
Yeah. Actually, there may have been more strip clubs or bars. I don't really remember. It was one of those ones I had one of our Rocky friends, Ryan. He was up from Eugene visiting me in Portland.
There's a boy who loves a good strip club.
Oh, yeah.
We have more than one actual strip club stories involving our friend Ryan. And Ryan, now I have a sense that we're going to have probably sent a link to this to you. So let's just talk about Ryan on our fast food show for a second. Okay. We are, if you're joining us late, or if you're watching this on tape and you're like, who the fuck are these 2 people? Why are they on YouTube? It's because we're friends from way back. The thing
right.
is the Rocky Horror Picture Show. And I mean, we're talking now 20 years ago when I started, and when you started is something like 15, if I'm about right. About that?
Yeah, I mean, I started in 98.
Okay. Well, if you don't know what it is, it's essentially community theater. If you've never even had a clue as to what it's a movie, but it takes place in a theater where a bunch of people acted out at the same time as the movie is playing in the movie theater. So you're going to a regular movie theater, and you're seeing essentially community or cast volunteers, kids who have a costume that they've made up, a character they selected, and they want to act the movie out at the same time. There is really no other like theater-going experience that it kind of approaches this on any kind of regular.
Right.
I mean, it's not a play, right? You're not going to be able to...
It's not a play. You can't go off script or anything like that. You have to follow what's going on.
Yeah, and I mean, the idea is you learn this blocking, and it's a way... I mean, I did it in college, essentially as a lark, and I think most people start in high school and do it a little bit earlier. But, you know, this is... It turns out that... And we've looked at this through documentary people who've made documentaries about fans of this Rocky Horror Picture Show movie from 1975, and it's, you know, it's a bonding experience, much like a fraternity or a sorority or a diving squad or anything like that. There's a large group of people all there for kind of this reason, except it involves kind of makeup and sexy fishnets, and you know, I mean, it's a very liberal audience and a very accepting audience. So for that reason, the kind of outcast kids who feel like they don't have anywhere to go kind of gravitate to it, right? The gay kids gravitate to it, certainly in my day. And so I was one of those guys who would dress up on the stage, and Brad Majors was my character at the beginning, Rocky Horror later on. But I kind of played all of the characters at one point or another, with, I think, the exception of the guy in the wheelchair, Dr. Scott. And
right.
The characters you played, but you made the rounds yourself.
I really only was in charge of being the MC, and I've played Eddie a couple of times.
Really? You never played Dr. Scott?
I never played Dr. Scott. There was always a Dr. Scott happening when I played Eddie, because traditionally in the stage shows, Eddie and Dr. Scott were performed by the same person, I want to say. Not 100% sure on my history, but...
I believe Dr. Scott was a different actor than Meatloaf, who played Eddie in the movie.
Right. I'm talking about the stage show, not...
Oh, I'm with you. In our cast, in other words, because of the way the roles come in the movie, the same actor person can play this Eddie role briefly in the middle of the movie, and then like Dr. Scott for the last 3/4 of the movie.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay, got it.
I sent you a couple of pictures on your Facebook, by the way, Messenger.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, and what's funny is all those times with doing the Rocky cast, we revolve a lot around food also. There's kind of that traditional, when you're done with the movie, because the movie generally starts at midnight or 12:30, it's roughly 90 minutes long, and then the cast usually will clean up. So you're hitting a Denny's or a 24-hour place at 3 or 4 in the morning, and we are very food-centric, and there was always unlimited amounts of soda, you know, happening while we were waiting.
Absolutely. I don't know if you can see, I'm actually putting up a photo of 5 of this group of friends. This is maybe a year or 2 ago. This is not that long ago.
2012.
So this is now going on 3.5 years ago or so. But this is me, obviously, on the left. This is you, obviously, behind. This is Ryan, the Ryan we were talking about. And Ryan, if you're out there, we miss you and hope you'll call us on the phone one Saturday night when we're doing this show. This is our friend Mike, who had a party tonight for his sister that I unfortunately missed. And our friend Crystal back here, who now I think is also probably going to end up getting a link to this, and all of them will. And we miss them very much.
Yes, and then I sent you an older picture.
Okay, let me look just one moment. Okay, another picture. I will find the earlier picture. Here we go. Oh, yes. Okay, this is sort of the cast picture, if you will. Can I select it so it will become kind of full screen or not?
You might be able to, yeah, that's as big as it gets, I think.
I thought I could do this also. There we go. I guess it won't get any bigger. It's full screen. This is me. If you notice the hair, that's kind of one thing that was sort of, I guess you could say, what, I was a little bit famous for that hair.
Everyone knew you for your hair.
And I mean, I had a good personality too, but whatever. And then Sarah herself is here.
Yeah.
Our friend Anthony. I know I'm just going to tag him, even though he's not on Facebook. Will it take it if he's not?
There he is. He's on Facebook.
Anthony?
I thought if you go back to Anthony Johnson.
No, there's Anthony.
Right there? That's not him?
His last name was Johnston. And if he's on Facebook, I'm not friends with him.
His wife, I'm friends with.
Exactly, me too. And I think he kind of was one of those people who doesn't do Facebook, to be totally honest. Ryan, who we mentioned, hello again, Ryan, right there. He is on Facebook and probably could be tagged. Let's do that really fast. This is Jason. This is Emma. I'm sorry, not Emma. This is Jason. This is Amber. That is tagged as Amber, but that is actually not Amber. That is Allison. This is Emma. This is Ashley, who I have been trying to catch up with in town Tucson here for coffee.
Now, who's the person in the orange suit in the very front that you were skipping over?
You know what? Isn't that funny that I sort of skipped over him with like, and he's like the most important. He's the reason all of us were together then and are still friends now. His name is Richard O'Brien. He's the one that basically wrote the Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Right, he wrote the Rocky Horror Show, which performed first.
Yes, it was a stage musical that was, I think, debuted first in London and then kind of made the rounds to Broadway and in the United States and so on. And then that was like 73. By 75 is when they turned it into a musical movie. Along the lines of Grease or, I don't want to, like any one of the Disney cartoon movies where there's a lot of songs and singing. It's like that, and I mean... Right. Some people are not into movie musicals. This is kind of a particular brand, like I guess it's called a rock opera, but essentially it's a movie with songs, and it very much lends itself to dramatic teenage kids who want to get up on stage and forgive the turn of phrase, but take their clothes off in front of people, because it's the only of these movies that kind of has any kind of sexy overtones, and it's not like, there's nothing pornographic about it, although people have protested this movie because it's kind of too adult.
I want to say that you see more male nipple than you see female nipple. I want to say that Columbia, the actress, she pops out, I think, a grand total of 3 times from her costume.
And isn't it, I mean, I guess it's sprinkled throughout the movie. You got to really look for it. But to be completely honest, and I'm not a cinema guy, but like I happen to know that of that era, there was more than a little nipplage going on, so it was hardly
right. Exactly, it's not like it was cutting edge nudity. It was,
it's you'll find much more dirtiness in any of those art films of Andy Warhol, or you know what I'm saying, like all of that kind of stuff from the 60s and 70s genres of that art ilk. It's not anywhere near as racy as that, but because it's a little bit mainstream, there tends to be a little bit of mystique about it, and most theaters would play it Saturday nights at midnight. So it had a very young following. It had a very sort of creature of the night person, so you would get, if you had the people who would consider themselves goth or emo, you'd probably have a lot of those kids who would not only go to be in the cast, but would regularly attend to see the show. In Tucson, at our time, it was $5 for, admission to the theater to see the movie with the cast and hang out with all these kind of weird people who are also, I guess, if you're really unfamiliar, it is kind of one of the only interactive movies, because this movie has very kind of, I don't know, Kubrick-esque dialogue to where there's pauses, like it's almost Shatner-esque. There's pauses after every couple of words or every sentence when there's talking and dialogue, so it lends itself to the audience kind of yelling out a line as a kind of callback for just about every line in the fucking movie for the entire...
Yeah, I pretty much, when I have gone to see Rocky in Portland, and nothing against the cast, but I will sit and watch the movie with the people that I'm with, and I cannot shut myself up.
Because of the lines that you remember calling back.
Because of the lines I remember calling back that no one, I've gone maybe 3 or 4 times to Rocky here in Portland, and these are normal callback lines that were ingrained in my head because we said them so much, and the theater was like utterly silent.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
well, in my case, it was not the theater was utterly silent. The experience, I had the same experience, but in San Francisco. It is not something that I think plays all the time in the city of San Francisco. It was a special night when I went. It was the night before the Gay Pride Parade.
Right.
And And I was one of the TV anchors of the Gay Pride Parade back in those days, and so I feel like I should probably mention that. That's the reason I was in San Francisco. I did not regularly live in San Francisco. But it was really cool to see it there, and I had the same experience of callback lines that are literally automatic to me. You learn these lines. I mean, I was in this show roughly every 2 weeks for 7 years. Do the math. 26 times 7, it's more than 100 times. I mean, I was on stage in those costumes. And then what happens, because you've got this cast that comes to do the show, you've got this group that often comes as cast or audience regulars, and very often those people will end up joining the cast because they're there, they know the movie, you know, why not stand up and fill in this hole that somebody drank too much and is now puking in the parking lot, kind of a thing.
Right, exactly.
We have on us. That's how I started. I was Eddie my very first time because the Eddie, I think, was puking in the parking lot or something like that. Like, I mean, so that's how I got started in it, and I don't even really remember expressly remembering that image until right now. Kind of was not something I remembered until I told that just now. But it's a great little sort of, you know, thing to be a part of if you feel like you have no place else to be a part of. And and when you have that community come together, it is a really like nurturing, wonderful social experience, and you end up making these friends for life. And so that's sort of why we are doing this show. We have this chemistry that we've always said we should do a show, and this is the topic that I feel like is a lot more universally, you know, understandable and appreciable, is fucking food.
Yeah, and I want to say that the people that I met at Rocky were the least judgmental people I've ever known.
By far.
Because they're from so many different, you know, so many different walks of life, and they're good people. And granted, you do have some of the outliers who get arrested for things that,
is my name over your head?
There's something over my head right here.
Yeah, I don't know. I hit click and I now put. Okay, well, whatever.
I don't know what this name is because let me see.
I got rid of it. It's okay.
But what's really funny was you're saying with the callbacks that come instinctively. I visited my first Halloween when I lived up in Portland, 2010. Visited our friend Kate in Seattle.
Okay.
And they had a homeless cast. They had people who had been in casts for years, but didn't belong to a cast currently. They pulled all these people together and put on a show. And I was sitting in the back of the audience, and I forget what it was. And they were talking about Dr. Scott, and I started throwing out all the Nazi lines because it's a joke that in the movie that he's a Nazi. And the people around me had never heard those lines before, and they were seriously like guffawing and choking on, you know, kind of when you make those big laughs and you inhale sharply and you choke yourself.
Yeah.
I almost made someone to pass out because just the simple lines, and I was like, how have you never heard these? I grew up with these.
If you want sort of a story that dovetails with that, the story would be that, and I just erased my own text. What the
Yeah, you did, didn't you?
But what I was going to say was, there is a cast album, one of the parts of this community is obviously the music of the movie, and so you get a lot of people who are interested in the soundtrack, and you know they'll buy the soundtrack. That's kind of the first thing most of the gay kids who join the show do, is they buy the soundtrack to the movies, so you can learn all the tunes. And then maybe in the olden days you would rent the movie, and
I had the VHS.
I still
when I
have
was in high
VHS
school.
tape too. Yeah, absolutely. And so you know, you end up learning the movie, and you end up becoming a part of this community. And then because there are these communities that have formed around the world, or around the world, literally. We've met cast members in Japan because then they start conventions. It's, I think, a Star Trek Trekkie convention, but with a lot more fishnets and makeup and you know, sexual overtones. It's spectacular. It's like a much cleaner party atmosphere, a la a Burning Man. And you know, every year there would be a city, sometimes Los Angeles, sometimes Las Vegas, a couple times in Tucson, once in New York for me, and then they have them in London, and they have them all around the world. And large groups of these people who dress up as the characters get together, sometimes whole casts, and have kind of a performance off.
Right.
And at that point, people like me and SaraBelle here. Am I frozen? Okay, there we go. Me and SaraBelle here
your video is frozen, and now your audio is frozen. I don't know what happened. So I think Sebastian died, is what happened. And he has been assimilated by the Borg. And that's what happened to his voice at the very end, because he started to sound very robotic, and his voice was cutting out. And Sebastian Coons has joined this video call.
Thank goodness. So you got to, were you able to keep talking that entire time?
I kind of talked a little bit. I mean, you were assimilated by the Borg. Just want to let you know.
Yeah, no, I do know, and I'm sorry. I was trying to put the words on the screen, and the whole shit just crashed. So I'm going to say fuck the words on the screen for.
I just noticed that you put Fezzik on the screen because he was climbing around in my mound of stuffies back there.
Oh, good lord! Now I have a thing I'm playing. Please stand by. There we go. Sorry about that. I'm just messing everything up here left and right.
It's all good.
But okay. So what I wanted to say, talking a little bit more about Star Trek, or not Star Trek, but the Rocky Horror Picture Show, was that we then people like SaraBelle and I become the creative ones, and we start writing. It's in the beginning, in like 1995, the first numbers we did were literally just numbers from the show, just performing the different acts from the show. But then people start getting creative, and they start trying to tell little stage stories with the same characters. And you know, and that, like, the one I did that I was kind of most, I think, famous, if you will, within this community for doing was the newscast. I'm the news guy.
News 69, yeah.
90s, and so I created a TV newscast with a news music soundtrack, completely composed of real news music I'd stolen from TV stations and stuff around the country.
It was great.
And timed it and had the character. So Brad and Janet are now the news anchors. I'm Brad Majors. I'm Janet Weiss. Here's the latest on News 60. You know, it was like this kind of, there were very few actual funny lines in it, but because it was kind of this conceptual idea that people...
It was great.
People instantly got, and there was no Rocky Horror music, if I remember right, in it at all. But there were little veiled things. For some, Rocky Horror himself was the weathercaster. Columbia was the traffic girl, and you know, then we would get into filming these things, and they're little skits that you write. And in this case, we were in New York. Only half the cast could go, so we literally made it so that those of us who could go would be standing on the stage live, and those who couldn't make it of our cast would still be featured in the number on the video screen, and it kind of had that double punch to it in as far as meaning. It was not high quality production by any standards, but you know, in my mind, it was one of those things I accomplished that only this little group of people knows what it is or would appreciate as far as the humor involved. But like, it was a lasting, life-changing experience to stand up there on a stage in New York City.
Right, yeah, exactly. And we did it again in Tucson. And I just wonder now if we were in this technological age that we are now, back then, or if we were again in our 20s doing Rocky instead of the ages we are now. It would just be interesting. And now Fezzik is near his name, and now he's not.
I love it. Well, the thing I was going to say was, and I was literally talking about it in the Trekkie chat I reference so often here, which was that, you know, the first video editing program I used on a computer was for that News 69 production.
Right.
The director of the cast had this Mac computer, and it was able to, you know, sort of run this Avid Cinema program. It was at that time an enormously expensive professional video editing program that, like, I think shows like, what was the Tim Allen sitcom called?
Home Improvement?
Yeah, Home Improvement, that was it. I mean, I believe shows like that at that time were literally edited on Avid Cinema. So I was using a digital video editor in 1990, like 8, I guess that would be, or 97, and creating this production that I had written, and that ended up, you know, it was. I was going to say that my abilities now with this new program called Final Cut Pro, also by, you know, run on an Apple Mac system, just like the Avid Cinema I used was.
Right.
It is like I can't even describe how much easier it is to do these video things. I will give you a quick example. It's only 30 seconds long, but I did it today for 2 hours. This is what I did today.
Okay.
Let me share it with you. A friend of mine has a Star Trek streaming channel, and this is the promo that I made for him. I'm going to turn up the sound so you can hear it a little bit. It was just a specialty thing he asked me for when I logged on this morning, and it became this little project for me.
To you from somewhere cold. You're watching Head TV.
There we go.
You guys like Italian?
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes. I love Italian. And so do you.
From the Sci-Fi Channel Trek Fest 1996, this is Star Trek 4. Don't adjust your set. The 90s commercials are intentional.
Yes.
This is Head TV.
Okay. There's 16 people that understand why that was badass in the world, and the rest of they're all Trekkie nerds, to the.
Yeah, I'm not one of them, but okay.
But that's kind of what I was talking about when I was talking about the ability to put letters on the screen, animate in kind of a keyframe way. I used to have to do, if you wanted a gleam to go across the letters that you had typed on the screen from left to right, you literally had to hand animate or hand sort of produce each frame. And
wow.
It was not hand-drawn animation. I was nowhere near the young Walt Disney or anything like that when I was doing it, but I did it, and sort of did it by teaching myself to do it, because it was one of those software hills that I had to learn to climb just because I had these ideas in my head I needed to get out. And it was when I produced those new 69 news graphics and all that music and stuff,
right.
It was so much more difficult than it is today. This Final Cut Pro program makes it a snap, to an obscene level, and it's only going to get easier. So I feel like I wish I had had the program then.
Exactly. Yeah. You know what I think?
It's time to go?
Well, I was going to say, since Fezzik is actually stationary on the bed, you should change the angle thingy.
I can't without erasing all of it. That's how bad this software is. I can do it, but let's see here. Oh.
No, it's okay. You don't have to.
Well,
let me see, because I also have the effects, and let me see if I can.
You could, make it match. If you could attach something to her and then make her move, it would follow her around, or him.
Yeah, he's got nothing going on. Oh, okay. Let's see here. Raining rainbow.
There. The Fezzik rainbow.
The Fezzik rainbow with lightning. Oh, great! I just stamped myself.
Yes,
there we go.
You know, you should put one on your head and then move around so you can see, because I want to do that now to myself.
You want to do that?
This draw program is ridiculous. It's
kind of crazy.
It's not even very useful, whatsoever, but it is a little bit fun.
Right.
Maybe only one of us can do it at a time. No, here we go. Okay, so let's, I will stamp something. What will I
No, my stamp is there.
Okay, I will stamp a crown on my head. And then I guess when I move around now, the crown does too, and that's really great.
And see, I have a fedora. My fedora is not moving with me.
That's a shitter. That's not cool. I can't. It doesn't scan your face or whatever. How weird.
Oh wait, that's what it was. It was because it was searching for my face.
It looks like it's still trying to. Well, interesting. So we didn't even get to talk about. Are you tired? Do you want to stop? Because I still have things that I sort of wanted to talk about that we still didn't get to because I was going off on Rocky Horror.
I will happily listen to whatever you want to talk about.
Okay, let me throw this in the trash because that fucking crown is driving me crazy. I wrote an article this week. This is where we'll end the show. We don't have to go on for another hour or anything, but I want to talk about this. And I'm going to bring it up because I'm going to kind of sort of read it and talk about it because it's one of the things I've talked about before on this show. It is a topic that's important to me, and that's not sort of nagging people that whatever their vice is will kill them.
Right.
Okay, you know what I'm talking about, right? So
yes. If
I like soda, leave me alone. I mean, I don't even nag at people who smoke cigarettes, and we all know that's more deadly than anything. You know what I'm saying?
Did you freeze? I think you froze again. You froze! Maybe I think the freezing might mean we should be close to being done. I am still going to leave the broadcast open just in case you manage to come back.